Welcome back, guys, and today we are here today with a new deck, and it's one I took inspiration from other people. It is the Sultai Snake deck. Now, normally you see this deck. I mean, for those of you who haven't seen this deck before, it's essentially built around this card, Winding Constructor. If one or more +1/+1 counters we put in a creature you control, you get an extra one. So basically, if you get 1 energy, you get 2 energy. If you get 2 energy, you get 3 energy. Same with +1/+1 counters, and it just gets out of hand very quickly in this deck. But most of the time you see this deck in green-black, but we are splashing blue as well for... I've played a lot of green-black and I've played a little bit of green-blue-black, and I've got to say I do prefer green-blue-black so far. The blue splash is for Sky Red Elf. I like this very much over Scrounging Bandar. I feel like Scrounging Bandar is just going all in. I mean, you can't rely on Snake in this deck. That's the biggest trap I feel people fall into. Obviously Snake is huge and it's kind of the mainstay of this deck, but at the same time you cannot rely on it because it's only 3 copies and it just might not show up, it might get killed. And Winding Bandar is terrible, and Scrounging Bandar I mean is terrible without a Snake, and this card is decent without a Snake. It's not great, but it's decent without a Snake. We can get it up to a 4/4 in this deck, and then of course if you throw in Snake things tend to get out of hand, so I do like this card, and I think it's much better than the Bandar. The other blue cards we run are Rogue Refiner. I do like Rogue Refiner. One of the criticisms I had with the green-black version is that the 3-drops really weren't too great. You had like Tireless Tracker and Aether Harvester, but then there just wasn't really too much exciting to go with, and then I feel Rogue Refiner kind of fits that slot. It gives you extra energy, which is great for your lands, and of course it draws you a card. It cantrips as a 3/2 by itself. It's a pretty good card. I really like it. It's good filler. And then up the top we have 2 Altered Ego, which is just an absolutely hilarious card in this deck. It already by itself gives +1/+1 counters. And then of course you throw in Snake and things just get out of hand crazy. You can copy a Snake. I mean, just look at this deck and look at all the great things you can copy. That's all I'm going to say about this card. And then apart from that, it's really just a standard green-black Snake top deck. I mean, there's nothing too outrageous, I don't think. Actually, there is one thing that's outrageous. Oh yeah, I guess we'll talk about. And of course, going 3 colors gives Woodland Wanderer a lot better. We can potentially have this thing as a 7/7 on turn 4 if we have a Snake. Actually, I guess we could technically, if we wanted to go all out, we could have it as an 8/8 on turn 4. But most of the time, it's going to be like a 6/6 or a 7/7 turn 4, which is really, really powerful. But the one spicy card, I guess, if you don't count Altered Ego as spicy, is Cultivator of Blades. A lot of people don't like this card, but I just love the dream. I dream big with this card. It's never going to be a bad time if you've got this on the field and it lives. And look, thinking of all the ways we can make it bigger or copy it with Altered Ego, things will get out of hand hilariously quickly. And I just have a dream. I just have a dream of hitting my opponent for 200. Is it too much to ask? But yeah, that's really the deck. Nothing too exciting about the mana base, except I guess Aether Hub is absolutely amazing because we have all this energy. And then, so that makes the mana not too much bad from green-black. And apart from that, we run all the dual lands, all the rare ones anyway. And then of course we run 3 forests, 3 swamps, 5 forests because green is much heavier. And then 2 islands because we don't need double blue for anything. We do need double black for some things like Cletus. But yeah, that's really the deck, and we're just going to try and jump into some games here. But as you can see by the lack of uploads, I've really been struggling to get good games, really. I mean, I've built decks. I've built a Black-White Angel deck, and I've built a Bant Turbo Fog deck. But none of them are just producing good games, and it's just... I don't want to upload a bad video just for the sake of uploading, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't want to upload a video which is just like one person gets mana screwed one game, then game 2 I get mana screwed, and then game 3 it's just a 30-minute slugfest where nothing happens. You know, I don't want to do that. I'd rather upload less frequently but have some good games thrown in there than you know, the other way around. We're facing part 87, which makes him... is this hand worth keeping? I think it's worth a keep. We have 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, even though it's not the most exciting Woodland Wanderer in the world. But 87, that makes him 8 years older than me. So there you go, people now have my age. This isn't exciting, but if he has Mono Rod, Aether Sphere Harvester should do some work here. Unfortunately not, he is a green-red Copter. So it looks like we'll be playing Energy Aggro as my bet at the minute. I'm going to play the Aether Hub here. Just because, might as well. Still doesn't tip him off to what colours we're playing. And then, in case we need to draw like a certain card or something. But yeah, now we can Aether Sphere Harvester next turn, turn 4 Woodland Wanderer, and then all should be well. Green-red might struggle to deal with a Woodland Wanderer. Yep, okay, so he's in a situation. See, I never really liked the vehicles plus the haste creatures, because you get in situations like this where our opponent doesn't crew up the Copter and decides to attack along the ground. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but like, even if my opponent played that right, it was still going to be awkward. The haste was pretty much irrelevant, and then yeah. So I mean, we've got perfect Aether Hub mana, but now he's in a situation where he's going to struggle to find an attack here without a Lightning Axe or double up on a burn spell, which I'm fine with. Like if I block here and my opponent then kills my creature with like a Fiery Impulse, I'm fine because I'm summoning down a Woodland Wanderer next turn, which will be a 6/6. Which is, I've heard is pretty hard for them to deal with. And, our opponent's draw definitely looks awkward. They're not able to crew up their vehicles. And now they're not even attacking, which is a good sign for us. So we can use all our energy to make this thing a 6/6, which I think is worth it, you know. I do like my 6/6. My 6/6 Woodland Bellows. And we still have at least some energy reserve here. And I'm going to get aggressive. Our opponent doesn't really have too many particularly good attacks when we have lifelink going on here. Perhaps I shouldn't have given it lifelink, considering I only have green sources and one other colour now. But well, we've made that decision. I'm probably just going to keep one energy around for Aether Hub, just because if we draw Rogue Refiner, we need to be able to cast it, and if we can cast Rogue Refiner, then we're going to have all the energy we need. Like, our opponent just doesn't really have too many good attacks. I mean, like, the worst thing we could have would be like a Traitorous Instincts here. That would be pretty spicy, getting hit for like 11. But we'd cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah, so still, I mean, he can attack us in the F3 if he wants, but he decides not to. We can actually get a bit tricky here if he goes for the double block. We can fatal push something. Well, now we're in a bit of a bind here, because we only have one energy, so we can't alter the ego plus fatal push. But I think if the fatal push works, I think the blowout will be worth it, and we can just walk in Blister anyway. So yeah. So I'm going to attack with the Air Force as well, because then we can trigger Revolt with our Walk and Blister, and then we can have Fatal Push one of his creatures if he blocks. Yeah, so we're going to be able to blow our opponent out, and because our creature has Trample, we don't even have to do it now. We can just do it like that, and now we our Woodland Bellower survives. We even ping him for 1 for the good time, and we smack our opponent for a lot of damage here. And we get to play a Walking Blister for 2. So despite only having 1 colour of mana so far, and 3 Aether Hubs, which we have all spent on green, we're a mono green 3 colour deck, yeah, that's what we are. Blood Mist, that is a good card. He can smack us for 6 if he wants, but he'll be dead in the crackback. And then, yeah, so... I don't know, like I said, I mean, the haste creatures plus vehicles, they just don't work well together, really. Maybe our opponent just had an awkward draw in there, like his only haste creatures, but still, it's definitely not ideal for him. And he's attacking, so I guess he's just conceding here. I'm trying to think of anything he could have that could win it here. I can't tell, but apparently the police don't agree. And we'll get to see what he discards, see what he's been holding in his hand. A Gearpa Orrery, okay. Maybe our opponent's deck is a bit more spicy than I can handle. But they are dead here, and we don't even have to do anything. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can't even Aether Sphere Harvester and then play out an Alter Ego. So unfortunately, he's sitting in our hand this game. We aim for 8, and then we crack him with the Walking Blisters. That's damage effects, can't do it then. There we go. Touche, ping, and ping. So, like I said, I mean, green-red was always going to struggle against a 6/6 Woodland Bellower on turn 4, and then throwing the Harvester to slow down his copter, and that was just always going to be a good win for us, even if our opponent's draw had been optimal. But I'm going to climb up here, deal 60 damage to our opponents, get some extra coins, and we will crash into game 2 here. I enjoyed that game. I definitely maybe should have been a bit more conservative with my energy. That's something I'm very bad at. I always forget that, like, you know, it's a resource, it's got to be managed. You can't just throw everything in. But we'll learn my lessons and we'll move on to game 2 here versus Darth Joles, who's about the same level as me, and he's not using sleeves though. 2 mana, nothing else going on. Mulligan. There we got the snake. It'd be rude not to play. We have snake into Nissa into big Nissa, so it's gonna be fine. I mean, it's gonna be fine. We can't lose this game, it's impossible. I mean, if our snake dies, this game might be a bit more. So we're gonna go snake, Nissa +1, second snake, Nissa minus, and then we'll just win the game. Then we'll just win the game. Don't fail push me. Thank you very much. But like I said, you can't really rely on snake, just for the fact because it does die to removal. That means it is not the most reliable creature in the world. I'm gonna save my Aether Hub because if we can go double Constrictor, we get more energy from it. Something to keep in mind. And I forgot to plus. So yeah, we didn't need that. We didn't need that plant token anyway. We didn't need the we didn't need it. We didn't need it. It wasn't important. It was not relevant for me whatsoever. I got caught monologuing is what I did. I was too busy explaining my amazing Aether Hub play that I forgot to... we're gonna plus, we're gonna minus, yeah. I'll plus. Yeah, we don't want to put all eggs in one basket here. And then we'll pass it back to our opponent. And then we can like go Altered Ego minus next turn, which I like. If our snake lives, of course. He did murder, so it makes me think he's playing more of a control-y deck. In the grand scheme of things, that plant really shouldn't matter too much. Even if it is plus a 2/3 plant, it shouldn't matter in the most. Okay, there we go. Now we get to, as the magic linguists say, we get to go off now. We do have the energy. I could fail push out. I mean, I can't fail push. I think never mind. Okay. So it becomes another 2/3. Minus Zanissa. And now we will attack for a lot of damage here. 3+1/+1 counters. We attacked with a 5. Actually, it wouldn't matter. We were at a 3-4. I'm just trying to break down. I'll give you the truth here. This isn't a tournament match. I don't have to hide my emotions. I'm totally upset that I forgot to plus my Nissa. She'd be on 3 loyalty right now, which means I could minus her again next turn. So yeah. So I mean, yeah. You know, screw it. Screw it. I don't care. It was my fault. Okay. I let everyone down. But mind you, we did have a pretty disgusting turn there. We put 9+1/+1 counters for -2 loyalty, which seems I've heard is pretty good. Grasp of Darkness, that or Grasp of Darkness range, or out of all burn range. Not out of that range though, crucially. And he kills my Nissa. That's just not cool. We can Nissa to get back Altered Ego though, but that might be a bit too, I don't know the phrase, but I think it might be safer to just attack here and make our opponent jump with the Nissa. And then still get in for 8 damage, and then we have 2 man lands, which just wins the game, even if he does something spectacular afterwards. But I mean, we could have minus Nissa on Nissa here to bring back either old Nissa or Winding Constrictor or something, but we don't need to this game, I don't think. Our opponent is just a bit too slow. They when their first spell was Murder and then the next spell's Pilgrim's Eye, it's going to be very hard to outmuscle what we had there. We had a very good draw. Double Snake with the Altered Ego, which is the thing. You'd be surprised the amount of times you just copy a Snake with this thing, and then you know, the Nissa and stuff. Our opponent's just dead here. I mean, even if they went like Fatal Push, Fatal Push, Fatal Push, we could just attack with the Man Land. So, can I have ult? Okay. Yeah, he's just dead on board. Dead on board, and we just get to win the game here. Well, we got to show him that to assert dominance. Just get this pesky attack stage out the way. There we go. Dominance asserted, and another quick win for Sultai Snakes, despite the fact we forgot to plus Nissa. Okay, deal 60 damage. We didn't even need to attack. That's how good we are. And come on, Cultivator Blade, your time is now. It's been 2 fairly convincing games, but it's time to have a game where we go Cultivator Blades and then go Altered Ego with 3 snakes on the field for 7 mana, make a 10/10 Cultivator Blades, attack for 200. It'll be Crater Hoof. It'll be Crater Hoof in a game which doesn't have Crater Hoof. Because sadly Decimator of the Provinces never really got there. It turns out when it costs 9 mana and doesn't win you the game on the spot sometimes, it's just too much. Now we're playing Frozen Knight. He's a couple of ranks higher than me. You know, we've gotta stabilize here. Double green, nothing else going on. 1 land and nothing else going on. Nothing else going on, but I think it's better than going down to 5. We have decent mana. Pretty much all our lands come to play untapped apart from the man lands. And then we have like Rogue Refiner, hopefully that gets us something going. Not the greatest 6 I've ever kept. We do need to hit a land, but we do run 25 land in the deck. We run Copter, we run Skyrider Elf, so we do have plenty of good draws which we could find here. And that is one of them. So there we go. This hand might work out. And we do have the Dream, the Cultivator. She is lurking. Is it a she? Debatable. I think it is, yeah. So she's lurking. We're going to go Rogue Refiner, Bristling Hydra, Cultivator Blades, Nissa minus, win the game. That's what we're going to do, okay? That's the curve. It's been decided. It's already decided, okay? Opponent, doesn't matter what they do. They can play lands, they cannot play lands. We've already won. Okay, it'd be a good idea if they did play lands. Glint Sleeve Siphoner is going to be able to draw a card for our opponent because we do not have removal, and Rogue Refiner cannot block. That is a card I considered in this deck, but I do like my 2-drops a little bit better here. Okay. There's more land is better. Okay, yeah, our curve is great now. I kind of hope we draw an Aether Hub next turn, because then we can have 3 energy to protect our Bristling Hydra before its trigger goes off. But if our opponent's on mono black, they might struggle here. Okay, that's a good card, I've heard. Okay, so I'm trying to think, do we attack next turn? We can get in for 3, and then they'll be able to crack us back for 2. But then they don't really want to attack with the Gifted Aetherborn because Bristling Hydra does more on the way back. So Fatal Push is a great draw, but I think I'm going to go like this. Then hopefully we rip a land. Okay. I don't think it will attack. We have Hexproof here, and then if we rip a land, I'll go Altered Ego on Bristling Hydra plus Fatal Push, kill his Gifted Aetherborn, and then we should be golden here. I'm not too worried about my life total as it stands. I mean, at worst I go down to 14 here. It's still plenty to work with, and then we'll be hitting back for 8. So even through the lifelink, that's gonna hurt. Our opponent needs double removal cell to kill the Bristling Hydra. I could just go Cultivator of Blades. I really am tempted to just slam this Cultivator of Blades no matter what happens. Just out of necessity. Double Glint Sleeve. See, our land is looking pretty tasty here. Okay. Our opponent is playing the mono. I mean, look at that. They went Glint Sleeve, Gifted, Glint Sleeve, Gifted. I mean, our opponent is clearly hacking. And as the police are already on the way, I've already called them. They're on their way. I apologize, guys. I live on a main road. It's gonna happen. I could copy his Gifted Aetherborn and then just land there, trying to assert dominance that way. We'll see what we draw first, shall we? Has the land? Okay, yeah, we're going for it. We're going for it. It's already been decided. I'm gonna minus here. I mean, make the servos because we can make her bigger with. We can make her bigger with minus Nissa, or we can like Altered Ego, and then do this. So might actually be the play to go Altered Ego. I don't know, there's so many different janky lines we can take. I'm not sure which one's worse, or of course that means better. I mean, Altered Ego, we copy Cultivator of Blades, we make it a 4/4. Then we have terrifying attacks for everyone, but they can just sit back. But I mean, it'll be so fun to do that. I just don't know. I think we've got to do it. I mean, I said I needed a Cultivator of Blades janky win. I actually haven't had one yet, so it has to be now. It has to be now. Our opponent cannot kill us this turn. I don't think. Like, the Menace creatures don't really have too many good attacks, if he wants to. I mean, the Gifted Aether ones have decent attacks, but okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. Now we Cultivate Blades, put the counters on it, and then and then we should just win the game. Okay, that's the plan. We could double auto, but no, not gonna get greedy here. We're not gonna get greedy, I say, as I copy, as I put 4 counters on a Cultivator Blades instead of playing like any of my decent spells like the Nissa here. I absolutely should be playing Nissa, by the way, just in case you haven't realised that yet. But I've got to go for it. I promised I'd go for it. What could he have for 1 black? Deadweight? No, Fatal Push doesn't do it. It does do it actually. Does it do it? I have no idea if Fatal Push works against Altered Ego, but we're going for it. I don't care. Opponent needs to kill us this turn or kill our Cultivator of Blades. That's his choices. He has drawn a lot of cards to get there. Nissa, Obnixless minus might be the line our opponent takes here, but I don't care. We'll be getting +4, +5, +5 on all our creatures. It's just too good to pass up, okay? +6 actually if we can go Nissa next one. Yeah, we have to do this. It'd be rude not to do this. Okay, that's not going to do. Actually, does that do it? Do we have to I mean, even if I have to chump here. This is ridiculous. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for putting you guys through this. I really am. Copter's not going to do it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is right. Okay, he does gain an absolutely metric shit ton of life here. 3. He's going to gain 8 life. But I mean, if there's one card that doesn't care about life gain, it might be Cultivated Blades with 4+1/+1 counters on it. Plus we'll have the Fatal Push. Yeah, our opponent's dead here. They are dead as all can be. They are so dead. I'm glad I'm such a greedy monster who throws Cultivated Blades in this deck. Yeah, he's got 3 blockers and we're gonna have way more attackers here. There's another green source. Yeah, that looks good. Seems decent. Seems decent. Responses? I mean, he gets to group the cop. I guess I should have waited to see if he crewed up Copter, but I've got a feeling it's not going to matter too much here. If I did my maths right. So yeah, this seems a pretty potent attack. +2/+2 to everything. Then +5, +7, +7 to everything. Yeah, we might just have lethal. Scholars are debating here whether we have lethal, but we might. I just think we do have it. I forgot that the trigger's stacked with the Cultivator Blades, so we give +2/+2, and then we give. I wish I could have stacked the triggers better though, because I could have given I could have given +5/+5, and then I could have given +7/+7 instead of +2/+2, then +7/+7. But Duels is a cruel mistress, and it's not going to cost us here, so I'm not going to complain too much. But there's the Fatal Push, but it was close. -10 through 3 blockers. Yeah, if only it had Trample, that would be particularly janky. But yeah, so Frozen Might felt the might of Cultivator Blades. So yeah, Magic's a stupid game. I don't care. I'm the greatest of all time. I've already made that statement. And yeah, Sultai Snakes. It is definitely more fun than Green-Black Snakes, and it's debatable whether it's more powerful, but I do enjoy it a lot more. I highly recommend this deck. It's been a lot funner than Angel Control, Bant, and that's, as you can see, that's all we've made so far. But yeah, so I'd like to say thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.